Welcome back, everybody. You're here at KGTR. I'm Tony, and we're going to be celebrating the life of Ozzy Osbourne. We're going to go really quickly into a short little video series on his upbringing, Black Sabbath, what happened after Black Sabbath, meeting Randy Rhoads, the death of Randy Rhoads, acquiring Bernie Torme, Brad Gillis, Jakey Lee, the firing of Jakey Lee, how we discovered Zakk Wylde, and we're going to basically be celebrating Ozzy's life. This is taken from the Guitar Legends magazine. Now these stories and articles and interviews, this is from May 30th of 2005. So obviously, even though Ozzy just passed away, this was already 20 years before. So they were already celebrating Ozzy Osbourne's life 20 years before. And the article that I was, what's the word I want to use? Sent to. I previously did a video about a month ago or two on a magazine review of Guitar Legends with this particular issue. But as with other magazines, I just glance through the pages with you, share you all the photographs and the content of those magazines. One of my subscribers, I forgot who you are, mentioned that why not go ahead and share in detail one of these articles. And he pointed out to Hell and Back, a detailed look at Ozzy's life, upbringings, Black Sabbath, and his career pretty much. But it's a very, very long article, so I thought I would dissect it into short little videos of certain points of his life. So we're going to be hopefully sharing some information you may not have known about Ozzy, the stories that you probably heard that were incorrect. I'm going to give you the facts as given them by the accounts by Ozzy, Sharon Osbourne. And so let's go ahead. So our first video, this video is going to be about allegedly Ozzy biting off the head of a dove. Some people say it was a pigeon. Other people say it was a bat, a squirrel, a cat, and all that stuff. So all these rumors and stuff like that. So let's go ahead. This video is about when Ozzy Osbourne bit the head off a dove. All right, let's go ahead and begin. Again, this is from Guitar Legends magazine, released, issued May 30th, 2005, 20 years before his passing. All right. So as you can see on the screen, we pretty much zoomed everything so that we can just basically scroll as I read along with you, all right? Let's go ahead and begin. This video is biting the head off a dove, all right? So join me. Okay. Ejected by nearly every label, Osbourne finally found a supporter in CBS record executive Tony Martell, who immediately signed him to a contract. Unfortunately, among CBS execs, Martell was pretty much alone in his enthusiasm for Ozzy. Sensing the company's disinterest, Sharon Osbourne, Ozzy's manager and future wife, arranged for a lunch meeting at the label's New York City offices in May of 1981, as a way to introduce the staff to Ozzy and get them behind the project. Sharon and Ozzy brought 2 white doves to the meeting, which he planned to release as a gesture of goodwill. Right, that would look really nice, releasing them like you would do at a wedding, 2 beautiful white doves. As the birds flopped around the room, Ozzy introduced himself to the 25 or so CBS executives gathered for the meeting. Now picture one of those big conference rooms with those long, long tables, all those chairs, 25 or more, just sitting there to hear what Sharon and Ozzy Osbourne had to say. Ozzy introduced himself to the 25 or so executives, or CBS executives gathered for the meeting. For a brief moment, Ozzy, a little buzzed from some cognac he downed earlier in the day, quit making the rounds and sat on the leg of a girl who worked in the publicity department. As the chords of Crazy Train roared in the background, one of the birds landed on the singer's knee. He picked it up and without hesitation, put it into his mouth and bit off its head. This is the accurate portrayal, as described by Tony Martell, Sharon Osbourne, at the CBS executive meeting, promoting Ozzy Osbourne. The CBS suits, horrified at the sight of the headless dove's carcass convulsing on a polished conference table, summarily dismissed Ozzy and Sharon. Can you imagine that? He bites out the head, crunch, crunch. You hear the crunching, like potato chips. So picture now potato chips. Maybe there's blood on his mouth. Ugh, isn't that nasty? And then, so he bit the head off. I don't know what he did with the head. Did he spit it out? He probably placed the dub on the table, or he threw it on the table, and there it is. Oh, isn't that awful? Let's see. They were summarily dismissed, Ozzy and Sharon. We were asked to leave the building, remember Sharon, who was herself shocked by the actions of her future husband. Word of the incident spread quickly. Ozzy Osbourne, the depraved rock and roll lunatic, was back in business. So that is the accurate portrayal of when Ozzy bit the head off a dove. Now people were saying he did it while performing. People threw pigeons or dead bats or bats. We'll get into that story later, but as far as the pigeons or the white dove, it was a white dove that he and Sharon brought 2 white doves as a gesture of goodwill, released the doves, I keep saying pigeons, the beautiful white doves into the room. But apparently landed on some girl's lap or legs, or I don't know who it was, some lady's leg, maybe the executive, whoever, secretary. And for whatever reason, maybe because he was buzzed with the cognac, he just picked it up. And remember, his Crazy Train's playing in the background. Dun, 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 all that stuff. And then so I don't know why he's doing that. So that was the story of Ozzy biting off the head of a dove. I didn't know about this story. I just knew he was biting off heads of pigeons and squirrels and bats and cats, and right, there are rumors and spreads and misinformation, all that crap. But I just wanted to share with you the real story as it really happened. So this is the story that you didn't know about that I'm Give me your thoughts if you heard about this story about the doves, or if you heard it differently, but this is apparently how it occurred with Tony Martell, Sharon Osbourne, the executives, the 25 or more CBS executives, and Ozzy Osbourne. All right? Join me as we celebrate Ozzy's life. We're going to give you short little videos like this because obviously I don't want to keep rambling. There's so many wonderful topics here, and I just wanted to break them down into short little videos on the parts that I thought you'd be interested in. And again, all these little videos will be taken from the long, lengthy article called To Hell and Back, celebrating Ozzy's life, a singer, rocker, a sinner, from poverty as a child, his early days in Black Sabbath, getting booted from Black Sabbath, wandering the streets until Sharon shakes him up and says, hey, snap out of it. And then they get back into his solo career. And then now they got to find a guitar player, and on and on and on. There's some wonderful stories here. And so I'm going to detail the Brad Gillis stories, Randy Rhoads stories, his death. We've already heard accounts online of from Tommy Aldridge, Rudy Sarzo, I think Ozzy also, of their accounts of when Randy passed away or died with a plane crash in the bus. Now we're going to hear an account from Sharon Osbourne and Ozzy on To Hell and Back. All right? If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, leave them below. And hope you're enjoying the series behind the scenes, where I'm just unleashing I'm releasing the vaults of all my George Lynch, Dokken video footage. So if there's any footage out there of Dokken and Lynch Mob and George Lynch and his clinics, subscribe, stay tuned, because I'm going to give you my entire catalog and put it all out there, because thinking about death with Ozzy, Hulk Hogan, Connie Francis, and other Hollywood celebrities, life is short. And we just celebrated the life of Eddie Van Halen, who passed away a few years ago. Randy passed away in '82. And the big three, all that's left of the big three is George Lynch. There's other wonderful guitar players, but the big three was George Lynch, Randy Rhoads, and Eddie Van Halen. And all that's left is George Lynch. And if I can share with you my entire vault collection of George Lynch performances, I'm going to do that. So stick around. You're into George Lynch, Lynch Mob, Dokken, guitars, lessons, guitar tones. Click subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll give you videos weekly, if not daily, weekly. All right? So stay tuned. Our next story is going to be on the early days of Ozzy's very depressing childhood. Wait till you see what he had to live through as a child. All right? I'm Tony. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you folks in the next video.